Many DML players in the past have asked the question, what happens if you breed together two ancient dragons? Or it could be two divine dragons, or two legendary dragons. And just like if you type Google into Google, the entire world explodes. Okay, that's obviously not true. But it does kind of do the same thing in the sense that doing both of those things is kind of pointless. So in-game, I've got these two ancient dragons, for example, and you'd be misled if you thought that breeding two of the hardest dragons to get in the game would lead you to anything valuable. But if we breed these two dragons together, Frosk and Emroja, who are divine ancient exception dragons, we'll get a lot of possible outcomes. But the thing to note about these possible outcomes is that none of them have more than two elements. And on top of that, that means that most of them are pretty bad. The reason for this is that when you breed together two legendary, divine, or ancient dragons, the elements that get passed down are random from each of the parents. And we can take a look at this on the DML planner as well. If I throw in Ikez and Emroja, or say two divines, DML planner shows us the same amount of possible outcomes, sitting at 71. But one thing that I've noticed is that unlike what DML planner shows us, there's actually a different amount of possible outcomes in-game compared to what DML planner shows. And the reason being that DML planner shows that we can breed fire, wind, earth, and the single element commons. However, these do not appear in game. So what actually seems to be the case with what happens when you breed two divines or two ancients or legends is that each parent passes down a random element, but if say Frosk passes down the fire element, Emroja will pass down any random element that isn't fire. So this is the reason why we've got anything from the prickly dragon to the rainbow dragon to some common dragon eggs, breeze rock dragon, and we can see all of these other possible outcomes on the DML planner. So excluding all of those singular element dragons, because according to the game we can't breed those, we have every other basically common and uncommon and any of the rare, say, unlockable dragons in there as well. So this means that if you do breed together divines or ancients, you cannot breed epic dragons with three elements. Now, the only exception to this is if you actually pair it together with a dragon that is less rare than a divine, legendary, or ancient. So if we throw in the Mercury dragon, which is a two-element dragon, within Emroja, for example, you'll see that we've got more or less the same outcomes, but then there are a few other dragons like Rust, Regal, and Coral that we can breed, which are, of course, three-element dragons. And if we use another example in the form of the Elephant plus Emroja dragon, then, of course, we do have a few other differences. Again, the commons don't seem to be possible to be bred in-game, but you can breed some epics like the Orange, Black Armor, Ruby, and Calavera VIP if you had that level of VIP open. So, ultimately, does this mean that there's ever a time where I'd recommend you breed together two ancients, or even let's breed two divines together? So let's throw in Freya, and I'll throw in Hermes, because why not? And if we were going to breed these two together, you'll see more or less the same thing. Two element dragons that, aren't really very valuable, but you can see just how many possible outcomes there are. There are lots and lots, something like 60 possible outcomes total. So I wouldn't ever recommend that you breed together two legendaries, two ancients, or two divines, because it's really not going to be very good, and the fact that the element that it passes down is random means that you'll never really know for sure what you're going to get. And you'll see here, the chance to breed an X-ray, if you really wanted an X-ray, would be just 1.6%, when you could pick a better combination. But this is my little bit or tidbit of DML information for you today, because lots of players, especially new players, are like, ooh, can you breed anything cool with these 2 divines or these 2 ancients? The answer is no, not really. I'll do a singular breed just to show you. Let's get a duplicate. It's an 8-hour timer. It won't be for anything useful. So, unless Gameloft ever add in like a super hard to breed ancient or divine or legendary that you need like 2 ancients to breed, and it might have like a 0.01% chance. That would be kind of fun, honestly, for players like me. But I don't ever recommend that you breed together 2 ancients, 2 divines, 2 legendaries, unless you just want to go for a random breed. But anyway, that's a random DML fact for today. If you have any more random facts or information that you'd like me to share with you, or anything you're not sure of, even if it might seem obvious to some people, not everyone's gonna know it, so let me know. Let me know.